All right, fellas, Chivalrous men, how you guys doing? Rule number five. Rule number five of the 10 things that you must do to change your life instantaneously. And rule number five is stop seeking approval. Right? You don't need permission, right, from anyone to grow. You don't need permission from anyone to become the best version of yourself. Stop seeking approval. Okay. Most times when you try, right, if you're out here seeking approval, you're going to be let down because nobody sees the person that you want to become except for you. Right. It's a vision that God put into your brain. Right. But nobody else sees it. But if you go around seeking approval or seeking people's validation, you're not going to become that best version of yourself. Okay, so this is the next point, number five. Stop seeking approval. Right. One of the points, Steve Harvey, he has he said you don't accomplish your dreams because you tell your dreams to your loved ones and your so-called friends. Now, of course, Steve Harvey says it better than me. You don't accomplish your dreams, right? Because you tell your dreams to your loved ones and your so-called friends. And I've experienced this personally, right? You tell your dreams to somebody, and the first thing they do is they shoot it down. They put doubt into your ideas. They put doubt into your philosophies. They put doubt into you, right? But here's the thing, God didn't give them your vision. God gave you your vision. So when you're trying to explain your vision or your dream to somebody else, well, it's not really theirs, right? And it's not even theirs to comment on, right? But because you're seeking approval, because you might be scared, or if I tell this to enough people, they'll understand what I'm trying to do, right? But what they end up doing is just you end up devouring your dreams, devouring your visions of yourself, and putting doubt into yourself because you're seeking permission to do what you want to do or to be who you need to be. All right. And so we have to stop seeking approval. Now, does that mean that we don't take advice from people? No, that doesn't mean we don't take advice from people, right? But when you make that vision of who you want to be and you want to turn yourself into the best man that you can be, we're not looking for approval from anybody else. Okay? This is a relationship between you. Like Kevin Hardy said, and of course other people have said this, but it's you versus you. Every day, it's you versus you. Right? Today, I'm going to get up and I'm going to fight and struggle against the worst version of me, right? That was the rule number one, right? We don't compromise with the weaker version of ourselves. We don't listen to this anti-hero that's trying to tell us what we shouldn't do, right? We sign a contract with ourselves and we have the discipline to do it every day, right? And so we don't seek approval for what we need to do, right? We don't run our ideas and philosophies past other people because God didn't put that vision in them. They put the vision in you. And we work every day. We grind every day for our success. Okay? So that's step number 2, guys. We're not looking for approval, right, from anybody. So that's step number 5. So we'll go over the different rules that we talked about, 10 steps or 10 rules that will allow for us to change our lives today, right? So the first rule, what we just talked about, we do not negotiate with the weakness in us, right? The job has to be done. We know it has to be done. There is no negotiating, right? Rule number 2, we control our emotions, right? If we don't control our emotions, we will be controlled by our emotions, right? And I talked about that, 13 years in the correctional system. I've talked to thousands of people, right? I've heard thousands of people's stories, right? I say that I'm a social scientist of sort, because between the correctional facilities that I worked in for 13 years and the education system that I worked in for 13 years, I've seen people's stories, right, from beginning to end. And I see the results that have occurred by us not controlling our emotions. So that's rule number 2. We control our emotions, or we are controlled by them. Rule number 3, we eat the ugly frog first, right? We do the hard things, especially when we don't feel like them, right? When we made that contract and we wrote out we journaled and we wrote out our daily plan. Bedros Koulian, in his podcast, he calls it the GSD list, the Get Sugar Honey Iced Tea Done list, right? Or our to-do list, right? You pick those hardest things first, right? And then you use those to get the ball rolling. But you don't, we have to become, as I say, people of triage, right? If we have a pressing bill that we have to pay, right, and it might take a very difficult and something for us to deal with, we don't just skip over it and do lesser jobs and then have this bill that could be very harmful to us sitting over here. No, we tackle the hard things first, and then we go down that rule. So Brian Tracy has that rule that I spoke about the ABCDE rule. So every action that we do, we grade it. A, which is the most pressing. E, which is not pressing at all. It's something that they said you can, actually have somebody else do that for you, right? But we do the hard things first. That's rule number 3. And then rule number 4, we cut the noise and we master our focus. We cut the noise and we master our focus, right? Whatever that noise may be. Maybe it's social media. Maybe it's friends that are a distraction. Whatever that may be, right? We cut that out of our lives. I tell my son, right, if you want to reach the top of the mountain, it's going to be exponentially more difficult if you try to do it with a boulder attached to your ankle, right? You have to cut those distractions out of your life if you want to reach your ultimate goal. And then, as we said for rule number 5 today, stop seeking approval, right? You do not need permission to grow. You do not need permission to become the best version of yourself. You do not have to run your dreams, your aspirations, your goals by your family or your so-called friends, right? We just need to go ahead and get to work. Okay? So thank you guys for coming. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please comment. Please share this. Trying to get this word out, the Chivalrous men's group, trying to grow it. One of the things that I find very interesting is that in private conversation, I've talked to multiple men, right? Multiple people that are suffering in silence. Their sons aren't launching, just multiple things that men are dealing with. Yet, right, I have my services, and it's like I have a very difficult time getting services, right, getting clients. But though when I talk to people in private, they're miserable. They're miserable, and I used to be that person, and I have a whole regiment every day. I have a regiment that I go through to keep myself away from that negative version of myself, that 1.0 version of myself. And I want to share that information with you guys. I want to help you out. I want to help your sons out. I want to help your brothers out. I want to help your nephews out, right? So that we can create a stronger community, right, of stronger men that are focused in one direction, right? They're trying to be the best version of themselves, right? So it's something that's it's very interesting. It's very mind-boggling to me. But I do understand that what we're fighting against a psychology, right, of manhood that has not served us well. Okay, It's a philosophy of manhood that has not served us well. And sometimes, you know, if the leg has been set wrong and it's, you know, the person is limping, sometimes it's hard to have to re-break the leg and set it correctly. But you would want to have the rest of your life where you walk towards your destination with no limp. And that's what I'm trying to do, guys, is trying to help remove that limp. And I understand that it's hard to break the bone sometimes, but it is something that we have to do. Okay? All right, so thank you guys for watching. Please, like I said, like this, share this information, and I'll see you guys when we go over rule number 6. Remember, keep putting one foot in front of the other, and you will reach your destination. Peace.